What's going on, guys? I'm Cliff Chance, and this is It Any Good? With this video, we're going to talk about the long-awaited sequel to the 2009 cult classic, Zombieland. This movie is called Zombieland Double Tap. It takes place 10 years after the original, excuse me. The core group of characters, Tallahassee, Columbus, Wichita, and Little Rock, have all kind of formed this family and been on their own for the past 10 years. But Little Rock, growing up, decides she wants to go off and kind of be, I think she just turns 18 at the beginning of this movie, and decides she kind of wants to go off on her own. Meets up with this hippie guy, and they kind of travel. The rest of the family finds out that there's more dangerous zombies out there, so they kind of track her down and try to bring her back into the fold. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it's not as good as the first, but it is a lot of fun. I laughed very hard at a lot of scenes in this movie. The good for me, Woody Harrelson is by far the best member of this cast, is Tallahassee. If there's zombie apocalypse, you definitely want this character by your side. All the other cast members do a fantastic job. Some of the newer cast members, they're kind of hit or miss. Some of them are good, some of them aren't. Like this new female character played by Zoe, I can't remember her last name, but she was in Why Him and a couple other comedies. You know, she's funny at the beginning, she gets a little annoying, you know, it kind of goes back and forth with her. The kid that plays the hippie that Little Rock goes off with, he didn't really do a whole lot. I just didn't really find too much about him that I enjoyed. The zombie kills in this movie are all fantastic. You know, we have some over-the-top zombie kills, which is what they did in the first one, too, that were all funny. A lot of the zombie kills of the year. Another thing, too, that this movie does well, that a lot of apocalypse movies don't, at least sequels of apocalypse movies don't do well, is it remembers when the apocalypse happened. You know, this all happened in 2009, so they don't reference a lot of stuff, pop culture stuff that's happened in the last 10 years in this movie. Like, they are still living like last things they remember are from 2009 and before. And, you know, I just thought that was really smart way, good writing with that, because a lot of these zombie shows or other apocalypse movies, they don't always go into that. Like Walking Dead has been going on for over 10 years now, and yet they're driving cars that came out 2 years ago. You know, it's just attention to detail like that I really enjoy. The bad for me, there's a good number of parts of this movie that feel very repetitive. Some of it feels like it's the same stuff from the first one. It doesn't happen a lot, but there are a few scenes like that. Like I said, some of the newer cast, the guy that plays the guy that Little Rock goes off with, he's kind of hit or miss. There's two things in the trailers they gave away, like a couple of cameos that I wish they hadn't have shown in the trailers, because these characters aren't that big in the movie, and they're only in it for a few minutes. But I feel like if they hadn't put them in the trailer, they would have had the same effect as the Bill Murray scene in the first one. And I just wish that they hadn't done that. Also, towards like the final fight of the movie, the big climax, the special effects are kind of in and out on how good they are. That kind of takes you out of it a little bit. But all in all, I think if you enjoyed the first one, you're going to find a lot of stuff that you like about this one. It's very enjoyable. I laughed a good bit throughout the entire movie. Do stay through about 2 minutes into the credits. There is a little scene there that is by far one of my favorite mid-credit scenes out of any movie, whether it be Marvel or any other movie that has mid-credit scenes. It's funny, and that's where I actually enjoyed that. That was my favorite part of the movie. But I'm going to give Zombieland an 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys thought about it when you see it in the comments below. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'm Cliff Chance, and this is It Any Good? Thank you.